Imagine a world where a single company's journey encapsulates the dizzying highs of innovation and the sobering lows of missed opportunities. Step into the realm of a technological titan whose rise and fall have become legendary tales in the annals of corporate history. What secrets lie behind the birth of iconic products like the Walkman and the PlayStation? And how did this company stumble into the smartphone market, once a realm it dominated? From the Walkman to the PlayStation, Sony has been at the forefront of innovation for decades. However, like many giants of industry, its path has been one of both soaring successes and staggering setbacks. In this video, we'll take a look into the rise and fall of Sony. Sony's journey began in 1946 in the ashes of post-war Japan, when two engineers, Masaru Ibuka and Akio Morita, founded Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering Corporation. Their first creation, the rice cooker, may not have been a runaway success, but it set the stage for what was to come. In the late 1970s, amidst the backdrop of a rapidly changing music landscape, Sony unveiled a device that would revolutionize the way people experience music, the Walkman. But what made this portable cassette player so groundbreaking? It wasn't just the sleek design or the promise of music on the go, it was the freedom it afforded users to take their music with them wherever they went. The Walkman wasn't just a gadget, it was a cultural phenomenon that reshaped the way people listen to music. Whether it was on a morning jog, during a commute, or simply lounging at home, the Walkman became synonymous with personal audio entertainment. Its success wasn't just a testament to Sony's engineering prowess, it tapped into a fundamental human desire for autonomy and control over one's auditory experience. In 1994, Sony made its foray into the world of gaming with the launch of the PlayStation, a move that would forever alter the gaming landscape. But what sets the PlayStation apart from its competitors? It wasn't just the impressive graphics or the expansive library of games. It was the seamless integration of cutting-edge technology with immersive gameplay experiences. With titles like Final Fantasy VII and Gran Turismo, the PlayStation captured the hearts and minds of gamers around the world, solidifying Sony's position as a dominant force in the gaming industry. But perhaps the true genius of the PlayStation lay in its ability to transcend the realm of gaming and become a cultural icon. From the iconic startup sound to the sleek design of the console itself, the PlayStation became more than just a gaming console. It was a symbol of innovation and imagination. While Sony found success in other areas of consumer electronics, its journey in the smartphone market has been fraught with challenges. Despite boasting impressive features and sleek designs, Sony struggled to gain traction in a market dominated by giants like Apple and Samsung. But what were the key missteps that hindered Sony's success in the smartphone market? One of the most glaring issues was its inability to differentiate itself from the competition. While rivals focused on groundbreaking features like edge-to-edge displays and dual-camera systems, Sony's Xperia lineup failed to offer any compelling reasons for consumers to choose its devices over the competition. Additionally, Sony's reluctance to adapt to changing consumer preferences, such as the shift towards larger screens and longer battery life, further hindered its ability to compete effectively. Despite its storied history of innovation, Sony found itself falling behind competitors in recent years due to a perceived lack of innovation. But what led to this decline in innovation from a company once renowned for pushing the boundaries of technology? One contributing factor was Sony's tendency to rest on its laurels, relying on past successes like the Walkman and PlayStation rather than pushing forward with new ideas. Apple and Google invested heavily in research and development to bring groundbreaking products to market, while Sony seemed content to iterate on existing designs rather than take risks with new innovations. This failure to innovate not only allowed competitors to gain a foothold in key markets, but also tarnished Sony's reputation as a leader in technology. As the pace of innovation continues to accelerate, the challenge for Sony will be to reignite the spirit of creativity and ingenuity that once propelled it to greatness. In the ever-evolving landscape of technology, missed opportunities can spell the difference between success and stagnation for companies like Sony. But what were some of the key missed opportunities that hindered Sony's growth and innovation? One such opportunity was the rise of streaming services. While competitors like Netflix and Hulu capitalized on the shift towards digital content consumption, Sony struggled to leverage its vast library of movies and TV shows to create a compelling streaming platform. Additionally, Sony's failure to capitalize on emerging trends like virtual reality and augmented reality left it trailing behind competitors who embraced these technologies early on. These missed opportunities not only cost Sony valuable market share, but also left it playing catch-up in key areas of the tech industry. Behind the scenes, internal struggles plagued Sony's efforts to maintain its position as a leader in consumer electronics. But what were the root causes of these internal conflicts, and how did they impact Sony's ability to innovate and compete effectively? One of the primary sources of internal strife was the lack of cohesion and communication between different divisions within the company. As Sony diversified its product portfolio to encompass everything from electronics to entertainment, siloed departments often worked at cross purposes, hindering collaboration and stifling creativity. Additionally, leadership changes and power struggles at the executive level further exacerbated these internal tensions, leading to a lack of clear direction and focus. Without a unified vision and strategy, Sony found itself mired in internal conflicts that sapped morale and also impeded progress. In an increasingly digitized world, cybersecurity has emerged as a paramount concern for companies across all industries. But how did cybersecurity concerns impact Sony, and what were the repercussions of high-profile security breaches? One of the most infamous incidents in Sony's history was the 2014 cyber attack on its Sony Pictures Entertainment division. The attack, attributed to North Korean hackers, resulted in the leak of sensitive corporate data, internal emails, and unreleased films, causing significant financial and reputational damage to the company. In addition to the immediate fallout from the breach, Sony's reputation as a trusted custodian of customer data was called into question, further eroding consumer trust in the brand. As cybersecurity threats continue to evolve and escalate, the challenge for Sony will be to implement robust security measures to safeguard against future attacks and restore confidence among consumers and stakeholders alike. As consumer preferences evolve, companies must adapt to meet changing demands or risk obsolescence. But how did Sony respond to shifting consumer preferences, and what were the consequences of failing to anticipate these changes? One notable shift in consumer preferences was the move toward streaming and on-demand content consumption, driven by the proliferation of high-speed internet and mobile devices. With competitors like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video embracing this trend, Sony struggled to pivot away from traditional distribution models such as physical media and cable television. The story of Sony is a testament to the highs and lows of corporate success. From humble beginnings as a small electronics company to global dominance in entertainment and technology, Sony's journey is one of ambition, innovation, and resilience. While its path may have been rocky at times, the spirit of innovation that fueled its rise remains alive and well. The future may be uncertain, but one thing is clear: the story of Sony is far from over.